remember what we did. We talk about the users and also groups in the Linux and why we use them. Okay, so we talk about them. And there are some videos that you can watch. And so here we logged in as user. And here in the etc passwd, this is a file, a text file, and we looked at the users that are created. Some of the users are, belongs to some applications, and there is no login for them. And then, okay, and there is also root account, the first one. Okay, and then we have user that we have the name of the user is right here, and then some other information about the user. So we learned about them. And also we said that when a user is created, also a group is created with the same name of the user, okay? And then automatically that user becomes a part of that group, okay? And also the password, the plain text of the passwords are not stored for the security purpose, but the hash of them are stored in shadow file, etc shadow file. And you need to, in order to see that, you need to elevate your privilege to the super user level. And so we say sudo less and etc shadow, and as you see at the bottom, it says user and then hash of the password. And also we learned how to create some users by saying sudo user add, and then -c for the command. And most of the time you give full name as the command of this, and then name of the user, okay, the username. So msmith. So we did that, and we looked at here. So when you do that, actually we have not set up any password yet. And then to set up a password, we use passwd command. So this is actually different than, so this is a command, but this passwd over here, let me scroll up. Where is that? Yes, so here, this one, etc password, this passwd is not the command. This is the name of the text file. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, and so again, we say sudo to elevate the privilege, and then passwd, this is the command, and okay, which username? msmith, and then it says enter the password, so you enter a password, and please retype again, and then you enter again, and then it is set up. And to see that, to make sure that it was set up, you look at the etc shadow file, okay, and then it is right here. And after that, we created some more users, and also we set up the passwords. And here it says, by using tail command, show the last 6 line of the passwd, which is this one. And then also, so you take a screenshot, and then you look at the shadow file, and again, you display the last 6 lines of the shadow file. Okay, they are right here, and you take another screenshot. Also, if you want to delete user, then we use user del command. So when you do this, actually it deletes the user, but not the home folder, home directory. If you also want to remove the home directory, you use -r. So like this. So it removes the user and also the home directory. Okay, and let me show here. And so let me go to deployments. Okay, so it is this one. And then connect to remote console. Okay, so here, let me just say, all right, so here, where am I? PWD. Okay, and so right now I am inside of the home directory. So let me see what is inside of the home directory. I say ls, and I see a bunch of, so we have J Denver, J Fallon, Tenderson, and then what was the user that we just deleted? J Moore. If you look at here, okay, J Moore is not here. Okay, the name of the we deleted user, and also we deleted the home directory. So let me say ls-l, and okay, so this is good. So let me see. All right, so so let me think. Yes, let's look at the let's look at the users, okay? And then here I say tail, and then Etsy passwd, and by default tail displays the last 10 lines of Etsy. So we see user here, M Smith, Tenderson, and J Moore is not here. I think we created J Moore after the Tenderson. So the ID was 1003. And then because this is auto incremented, so we deleted it. So 1003 is not here anymore. And now let's look at the password. If I just say tail and Etsy shadow, okay, and it did not work. It says cannot open, so tail cannot open this for reading, permission denied. So I should say, so the same thing, tail, Etsy shadow, but at the beginning, sudo, and then password. Okay, now I can see the last 10 lines of the shadow file, and I have J Fallon here, J Denver, Tenderson, and so on. Okay, now let's go back. And okay, and so we learned about the sudo and su. Okay, so here, so let's see who am I. Okay, I say who am I. Okay, I am user. Okay, so let me say switch user to M Smith, password. Okay, and if you look at the prompt on the left, I have M Smith. Okay, so Where am I? Now it says M. Smith. Okay, so let me go. So this, so why people would use this? Because if you are checking to see what this person can do and to check some of the permissions, then you impersonate. So you temporarily become M. Smith. Okay, and then let me just go back to who I was. So exit. Now, as you see, it says user at the bottom left corner. User. Okay. Let me make this larger a little bit. All right. So we learned about the sudo. So sudo elevate you to admin level. Okay, switch user. We learned about that. Exit. And also, when the system installed, the user account was given the ability to run this command by making it an administrator. So we are able to use sudo. If we want to add other users, then we must add them to sudoers file. So to do this, we must use a special vi command, that is sudo v sudo, okay? And then we add a line here, msmith all, this one. And to any change, you just say colon and then WQ to save and exit. Okay, now Linux groups. So it is possible to manage access control to system resources for each individual user. So I explained it, but it would be a lot of time. It will be difficult to manage. So instead, we create some groups and then we assign the users to the groups. And if you want to change the permission of, I don't know, maybe 100 users in the same group, you just change the permission of the group and everybody who is a part of it will be affected. So this will save you time. So here, let's look at the group in this way, sudo. So where is that? Here. So I say sudo, okay, and less etc and group. So space, okay. And as you see, we have user M. Smith, Tenderson, J. Denver, Fallon. So actually these are, although they look like user, actually they are group, because when we create user, a group also created with the same name as the user. Okay, what else? So yeah, these are the primary group. So remember, each users can be a part of multiple groups, but each user has one primary group. Okay, and initially their primary group is the same group as with their name. Okay. Is there any question? Because I guess somebody unmuted themselves, so I can see some background noise. I mean, if you don't have any question, please mute yourself. And when you are ready, is there any way that I can mute everybody at the same time? I cannot see it. Okay, I could not see how to mute everybody at the same time. Okay, so what else? And let's create some groups. To create group, we use group add, okay? And then we create Cincinnati in this way. Sudo group add Cincinnati. Okay, so sudo group add Cincinnati. Okay, group add Cincinnati. Okay, so we created it, and this new group can be used as a secondary group for some of the users. users can be added to multiple secondary group. So to do so, we will use the command user mode. Okay, so we say user mode. And so this part is important. So you should be very careful about this. Because with the user mode, we have some options, lowercase a and then uppercase G. So what does that mean? So if you look at the other ones, we say in this group, put this user, okay? Okay, but what is the A? So A indicates we want to append the user's group membership, okay? But if you don't do that, then it will remove user from all other groups that they are member of. Okay, so let me say, so for example, let's say there is a user and this user is a member of, I don't know, Columbus, Cleveland, and Dayton, okay? And then you also want to put this in Cincinnati group. If you forget to put A-A, then this user becomes a part of the Cincinnati, and also it will be removed from other groups, Dayton, Columbus, Cleveland. So it will be removed. So instead of having 3 groups, from 3 group to 4 groups, actually you will make it a member of 1 group only. So you should not forget that. And uppercase G, this indicates which secondary group we want to add the user to. Okay, so this is followed by the group name, and finally, so you don't want to, if you don't want to make the primary group of M. Smith, change the primary group, but if you just want to make the Cincinnati one of the secondary groups, then you use this uppercase G. Okay, yeah, so you can add users to multiple groups at once by separating the groups with comma. So there is another way to put multiple users to a group, the same group at the same time, but it is more complicated. So let's not get confused with others. Yeah, so this is how you do that. That means instead of Cincinnati, you put other groups, for example, Dayton, Cleveland, Columbus, all of this, and then you use the username. So at the same time, you assign the user to multiple secondary groups. Okay, so if you use the option lowercase g, okay, then it changes the user's primary group, okay, but we don't want to do that right now. So now let's do this. So sudo user mode, so Cincinnati M. Smith. So I say, before doing this, let's look at the group. Okay, let's look at the group. And then Cincinnati is right here. Okay, Cincinnati is right here. Q. Okay, so sudo, okay, and then so we want to put M. Smith to Cincinnati. Okay, so sudo user mode. Just 1 second. Hello. Yes. Mm-hmm. And hello. Yes, I'm sorry. Emergent. All right. So let me continue. So here, all right. So user mod and A. So user mod, and so we say A to append, and then G, and Cincinnati, and then M Smith. Okay, M Smith. All right. So we put that in that. So what else? And we can verify the group members by viewing Etsy group again. So now let's look at this. So I say sudo, okay. Actually, let me say just tail, Etsy, and group. Okay, as you see, inside of the Cincinnati group, we have M. Smith, okay, right here. Now, it says, create the following groups and add the indicated members to each group. Okay, so we already created Cincinnati. So let's create managers, developers, staff. Okay. So here, so here I will say sudo group add okay, group add, where is it? Managers. Okay, we are done with that. What is the other one? Developers staff. Developers. Okay. And okay, for some reason it is slow. Okay, staff. And okay, so we created them. So, and now the next part is putting them. So we added M. Smith to Cincinnati. Okay, so let's add M. Smith to managers and staff. Okay, so we put M. Smith to managers and staff. And let me do this. Okay, M. Smith managers, comma, staff. Okay, so that's good. M. Smith. The other one now, Tenderson. So everybody is a part of the Cincinnati anyway. So Tenderson, Cincinnati developers staff. Okay, Cincinnati. So developers staff, Tenderson. Okay, so Cincinnati developers and staff. Is that correct? The Tenderson, right? Okay, developers staff. Developers staff. So this is Tenderson. Okay. So who is next? Tenderson. J. Denver. J. Denver is also developers and staff. So the same as Tenderson, right? J. Denver. Okay, J. Denver. Okay, the same as Tenderson. J. Denver. J Denver. Cincinnati developer step. I guess that's correct. So who else? We are done with the Tenderson and J Denver. Tenderson, J Denver. Now J Fallon. J Fallon, again, Cincinnati managers staff. Cincinnati managers staff. J Fallon. Okay. Cincinnati, instead of developers, managers, okay, Cincinnati manager staff. So who was the, okay, J Fallon? Yes, J Fallon. J Fallon. Okay, so J Fallon becomes Cincinnati manager staff. Okay, that's good. What else? We have done it. So now let's look at the group. Tail, Etsy group. Tail. And Etsy group. Okay, so does it look correct? So we have in the Cincinnati, we have everybody, 4 users, managers, M. Smith, J. Fallon. M. Smith, J. Fallon, okay. Developers, Tenderson and Denver. Developers, Tenderson, Denver. Okay, that's good. In the staff, we have everybody. Is that correct? Okay, yes, that's correct. We have everybody. And then you take screenshot 3. And so if you want to delete staff, then you say group del and staff. So you say sudo group del. And remember that when you delete a group, you don't delete every user inside of this group. So you may think that in a folder, if you have multiple files, you delete the folder and all the files are gone. But it is not like that, because this is like a role assigned to some users. So when you delete the group, you don't actually delete the users. So step. Okay, step. Okay, that's good. We deleted it. Okay, now file permissions. Okay, so here there is a there is owner. So the first set of permission is given to owner. So you have owner of a file or directory. Okay, so so the second set of access is assigned to group of users, and so you can give some type of permission to user, and also you can give to the group. Okay, and groups are created for different roles and in an organization. And also the third set of rights is assigned to everyone that has access to the system. So this is referred to as the world or other. Okay, so and for each level of permission, you can set 3 different permissions: read, write, execute. Okay, R for the read, W for the write, and execute. Okay, and so you can determine the permissions of a directory by looking at the long listing of that directory. Okay, so here we see that all of these are all directories, and they start with a D, which means they are directory. And then we have 9 characters. Okay, 9 characters for the permissions set to the file. So the first set of 3, okay, the first 3 characters indicates the permission for the owner. So if you have here, we have RWX. That means the owner of this directory has the full control. Okay. The second set of three indicate the permission of the group. As you see here, we have R-X. That means the group has read permission, execute permission, but not the write permission. Okay. And similarly, the third group is for everyone. Okay. And the same R and execute, but not write permission. Okay, so to determine who is the owner and which group applies to this, so we can further, we can look down further. So there will be two names separated by a space. The first name is the owner of the file, and second name is the group. So in the example, we have the owner user, and so as you see here, and then also we have user group. As you see here, it says user and user. Okay, so which is the primary group for the user account. So I also recorded a few videos, and you can also watch them. So now let's see how to change the permissions. So we don't want to change permissions within the user's home directory. So let's start by creating some new ones. So we create share directory, and also so share directory is at the root. Okay, notice that this is absolute path. Share directory, and then we have Cincinnati managers developer. Okay, let's do that. So I say sudo share directory. I am sorry. Of course, make dir. I forgot the. Okay, and then sudo inside of the share. What was that? Cincinnati managers developers. Cincinnati. Okay. Managers. And okay, so what was the other one? Developers, right? Yes, developers. Developers. Okay, so we created them. And what else? So if you do a long listing for the share directory, let's do that. So ls -l, and then share directory. Okay. Okay, so who am I? User, right? Okay, so let me ask you a question. If I created this, I thought I should be the owner, right? Because I created them. Why does it say root here? Any idea?
Is it because you made them with sudo?
Exactly, yes, very good. Because when I created, I did not create them as user because I didn't have permission to create outside of my home directory. I made myself root, and then I created as a root. Yes, very good. And also because there is also a group, the primary group of the root user is root group. So that's why the second one is also root, because these are the group. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so I explained that. And the default permissions are like this. Read, write, execute for the owner, read, write for the group, and for everyone else, again, read, and so there is no write. Read and execute, okay? And And also we want to change the group and the owner. So to change the group, we use the command ch group. So that is ch, so to change group. So let's set the Cincinnati group to the Cincinnati directory. Okay, so we say sudo change group, and then this is the group. Okay, and then we assigned this directory to this Cincinnati group. Okay, so sudo change group, sudo change group, and then Cincinnati. So this is the group, and the directory is share and Cincinnati. Okay, we have done it. So we first specify the group we want to set, and then which directory, and change the other directories to their respective groups. Okay, so let's do that. What are the other ones? Developers. So here, let me just delete them. So developers groups, and then share developers. Okay, and then sudo ch group managers, and then share and managers. Okay, that's good. What else? Okay, and also before we do that, let's look at the ls. I think ll should also work. Let's look at the share. Okay, okay, that's good. If you see, we changed the groups of these directories, but the owners are still root. So we have not done anything with the owners of these directories. And let's also do that. So to do that, okay, so we did this. We change the owner. So to do this, you say change own, okay? Change own. So very similar, you say change owner. So similar to this one, instead of group name, we use owner name, and then which directory we do that. So we make the M. Smith to be owner of the Cincinnati. So sudo ch own M. Smith share Cincinnati. Okay, that's good. So if I look at the LL share, okay, that's good. Now the Cincinnati group, as you see here, the owner is M. Smith for the Cincinnati. And now let's do, I think we need to change, okay, change the owner to Jimmy Fallon managers, Anderson to developer. Okay, Jimmy Fallon to managers. Okay, Jimmy Fallon. So J Fallon share J Fallon was or developers, no managers. Okay, managers. Okay, that's good. And then who else? This one, I guess it was Tenderson, right? Was it Tenderson? Yes, Tenderson developers. Tenderson developers. Okay, so now let's look at LL share. Okay, that's good. Developers Tenderson, managers J Fallon. Okay, that's good. Now let's keep going. Okay, so this might be a little bit confusing for some people. So here, if you want to change the permission level of some files or some directory, so there is another way that to use 3-digit number. Okay, so these are we need to set permission values. So to do this, we use change mode bits. Okay, ch mod. So this requires to do a little bit math. So each permission, read, write, execute, and they have a numerical value associated with it. To set the permission, we simply add them up. So, for example, if you want to give just read permission, then you just say 4. That's it. Okay. Now, if you say read and execute, you just say 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay. I mean, it doesn't make much sense if you give write permission, but why not read permission? But again, so this is how you calculate. So for example, if you want to give full control, which means read, write, execute, then you add all of them together. 4 plus 2 plus 1, 7. Okay. So for example, if you want to give read and write permission, okay, but not the execute, then you say read. What is the read? 4. And what is write? 2. Okay, there is a no, this is wrong. I need to update this. So here, I believe this must say for the permission, read dash X instead of W, okay? Which is this one, as we see here, read dash X, okay? So this should be X, not W. And the number is 401, okay? So let me ask you this. What if you want to give read and write, but not execute? What numbers would you use? Any idea? If you want to just give read and write, what permission would you? Yes, exactly, 6. So you simply just use these numbers, okay? And so for the Cincinnati directory, we would like to have group members to have read, write, permission, execute. So which means everything, all the permissions. So to determine the number, it is read, write, execute, which is 7, okay, for the group permission. And okay, so this is for the owner, and this is for the group 7, and for everyone else, it is, if you don't want to give write permission, this would be 5, okay? In that case, you put them next to each other, 7, 7, 5. So the first 7 is for the owner. The second 7 is for the group, and this one, 5, is for the others, okay, which means everyone else. So you say chmod 775, okay, and then Cincinnati. So let's do that. Sudo chmod. Is there a question?
Yeah, what happens if you don't put 7? What if you do something like outside?
That's good question. I believe it may give an error if I say 8. So let's see. And share, and then Cincinnati. Okay, yeah, invalid mode. So it says, yeah, so good question. So try chmod, yes. And so now we should say 775. Okay, and if I say LL, share, I'm sorry, share and Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, I'm sorry, share. Okay, if you look at the Cincinnati, then you realize that this is different than others. The others for the group, we don't have write permission, but for the Cincinnati, we give full control to the group level. Okay. Okay. And also notice that I think it says somewhere here. Let me find it. Where did it show that? Okay, so when setting permissions, using the list privilege is a good place to start. In other words, only give access to things a person needs to complete a job or test. Okay, so you can, yeah, so this is a good place. So give whatever needed, but not more than necessary. What else? Yeah, so set permissions for the other two directories to match. So this one. So let's do that. So this is Cincinnati developers managers. Okay, chmod 775 to developers and also managers. Okay, managers. So if you look at the LL share, okay, as you see, all of them has the same levels. Okay, what else? Yeah, after you do this, you take another screenshot 4, for the submission. Now we should test our permission to make sure they work correctly. So here, use SU to switch to msmith, and then try to create a directory. So use the touch command to make a file in each directory. Okay. So first, let's become msmith. S-U-M Smith. Oh, sorry. M Smith. Password. Okay, that's good. Now I am M Smith, as you see. Now touch basically creates an empty file. So inside of the Cincinnati test, touch, what was the name? Test txt. So share Cincinnati test. Actually, instead of text, let me say msmith.txt. So I know that who is trying to create what. So, okay, I created. And let's do the same thing. Instead of Cincinnati, okay, developers, and msmith. Okay, permission denied. So why is that? If I look at here, these 3 lines here, okay, these ones. Okay, so I was able to create inside of the Cincinnati because I am the owner. M. Smith, I am the owner, and I was able to create in here. But inside of the developers, I was not owner. Actually, okay, let me also try to create. Okay, so touch, share, managers msmith.txt. Okay, let me ask you a question. I could not create inside of the developers, but I was able to create inside of the managers. But I am not owner any of them. Why I was able to create in managers, but not in developers?
Is it because he's in that group?
Okay, I did not hear.
I said, is it because M. Smith is in that managers group?
Yes, very, very good. So how do we know that? So let's see. If I say tail, okay, Etsy group. Yes, M. Smith is in the managers group, but M. Smith is not in the developers group. Okay, so that's why I was able to create. And so actually creating is a part of the right permission. Okay, because touch, so you need to have right permission. Okay, so yes, very good answer. And let's see. Okay, Cincinnati managers. Okay, because M. Smith is a member of those groups, but for the developers, yeah, we could not. Test the others, make sure they can only create files in the directories they are member of. So let's try. So let's become somebody else. M. Smith Tenderson. Okay, Tenderson. Okay, password. PA, $sign. Okay. Now I am Tenderson. So if I say touch Cincinnati, okay, so touch share Cincinnati Tenderson dot txt. Okay, okay, because everybody is a part of the Cincinnati group. Okay, so here, if you look at up here, very, very at the top, okay, I'm sorry, this one. The Tenderson is not owner, but Tenderson, because a part of the Cincinnati, actually everybody, all of the users are a part of the Cincinnati, so they should be able to create inside of the Cincinnati directory. And now touch share Cincinnati developers. Okay, developers and Tenderson.txt. Okay, because Tenderson is a part of the here. If you see right here, a part of the developers. Okay, but if you say touch share managers Tenderson .txt. Okay, cannot touch. It is because the Tenderson is not a part of the managers group, and also Tenderson is not the owner of this directory. Okay, so let me just say exit to get out of from the. Now I am M. Smith again, and then let me say exit one more time. Now I am user again. So what else? I guess that's all for today. Do you have any question? Remember, actually, I made the submission available, I think, yesterday. So if you completed the project, you can submit. And I recommend that you submit as early as possible so that you can get feedback from the TA, okay? So, and then if you make any mistake, you can correct it, and then you can submit one more time. Okay, so let me stop sharing. All right, so if there is no question, have a nice weekend.